Sort of my early memories would be around when I was 6. So I was put into care with an Irish woman and a Tongan man. You know, in Newtown, we used to get hidings, used to have welts and bruises across our thighs, the side of our thighs. And me and another girl used to sort of compare what they were like. At 13, I went into a girls' home because I kept taking off. And there was a lot of abuse and sort of neglect, I'd say. At 15, I finished school, I started working, and at 16, I was told I'm no longer part of SIFS anymore. I didn't realise that I was still at that time. In the late 80s, early 90s, I was a young mum. I had 3 boys. My youngest son started getting into trouble when he was about 10, 11. I had started studying social work at that time. I worked collaboratively with the police, youth aid and child, youth and family to try and look at supports that we could put in place for him. They decided to have an FGC and I was absolutely shattered because they had already predetermined the outcomes. My son was uplifted due to supervisory neglect. How they looked at that was that I wasn't able to keep him at home. I took his shoes off him, he'd still run away. Yet they felt that their family homes, their homes, lock-up homes were better, where again they were abused in those homes, they were put into lock-up, they could hurt our children, yet we had no sort of support for us to try and keep our own children in the home. SIFS also got involved too because he had attempted suicide. SIFS came around and told me what I should and shouldn't do. Basically, I told them, no, I'm not doing anything you've told me. If he's going to suicide, then he'll use anything and we'll do it. He's been institutionalised for most of his life. He's 27 years old now and he's still in prison. He's been to Ngāwha, Rimataka, Parry, Mount Eden. So for someone so young, we have experienced some real tragic times. My thought about that is why I became a social worker, because I felt let down by the system and I thought surely I could do better, and that's what got me into study. I've always felt that they should have a house for Māori and a house for non-Māori. Reason being, we know how to work with our people better. We've experienced and have the history of colonisation and how that affected the health outcomes for our people. And we've always been at the bottom of health statistics, prison statistics, education, everything. And there's no empathy around the trials and tribulations that have happened for Māori. I think one of the biggest things is taking a concept Māori for Māori. We understand each other's tikanga, the kaupapa, the values that sit behind where we've come from. Pākehā don't understand that, and half the time they don't want to. There's actually been a lot of great outcomes for family that have come through the services, but one that comes to mind is a woman who was looking after her grandchildren. She was having a really hard time of it, financially and mentally. She was getting no support or respite provided by OT, Oranga Tamariki now. And so she just happened to walk into the service one day and she met one of our kaimahi. They'd done an assessment, which was her plan to decide what she needed to do, and that looked at counselling, financial mentoring, kaiarahi, which would also navigate her through to services, and our whānau order team. So the result of that was that Nan was able to have the children still with her. She's still going through emotional trauma herself because of the impact that it had on her previously. But the good thing is she's functioning well in the community. And it was because of the ability of our kaiarahi here that provided that support. I really believe what is good about Whānau Order is the way that they work collaboratively in the community with whānau, supporting them to reach their own outcomes that are important to them, financial stability, leadership, and other areas that are highly recognised by the whānau. Whānau Order allows that to happen, whereas Pākehā organisations, that isn't an option. They're being told what to do, not asked. I believe that having Whānau Order in the community has allowed some of our whānau to open up and be who they want to be, and we are able to provide the support that they really need, not from a government agency perspective.